Well, there you go. You heard it. This is where you can find me. And you got the time, hey. Welcome back. We are into the second hour of this week's edition of the Friday Fry Up. And as I said to you earlier, when we come back on air after the top of the hour announcements, and of course we had a song there by The Fix called Saved by Zero. Don't know what that means, but okay. I didn't listen to it. I was talking to Carol. So I said we'd be talking, and so I've got Carol in the studio with me. And now, I want to remind you that Carol has been with us on the air before. Carol is a specialist in alternative medicine, right? And if you want to know more about what Carol offers, then you can check out her website, which is energy-medicine.co.nz. All right. And you can find out everything that Carol offers on there in terms of energy medicine. She's an alternative healer, what that means, all of that. So, Carol, good afternoon and welcome.
Hi. Thank you, Rose.
Thanks
for having me.
Yeah, great. You can put the microphone towards you closer. You can adjust it. It can come closer. So sorry, guys. Sorry about that. I just feel better, comfortable. Yes, that boom seems to move on. Have a mind of its own. All right, I'm just gonna turn up your volume a little bit, Carol. Okay. So how are you today?
Very good, thank you.
Yeah, there you go, coming through nicely. Have you had a wonderful day?
Yes.
That's good. Weather's been a bit changeable, right? And then now we've got the beautiful sunshine again, like it started out this morning. I just found this morning was excitable, and suddenly at 10 o'clock it got weird. We're experiencing that at the moment, aren't we?
Yes, it's New Zealand weather.
Exactly, right. But we carry on with our lives despite all of that. So, Carol, it's so good to have you back in the studio, and I'm so glad you came, because I contacted you particularly and I asked you to come, and didn't I? We weren't planning for you to be here today, and then I had the slot, and I thought, I just feel with all the times that we're going through at the moment, with all the things that are happening, I think we need Carol back on the air, because I understand I've come to you and I've experienced your alternative healing, but I understand your philosophies, and I resonate with them, and I felt that it would be great to share that with our audience. And so today, what are we talking about? Tell me. What? Go on.
Sure. We're talking about how to maintain high vibration.
Yes. Okay. So we're talking about how to maintain high vibration. Why would we talk about a topic like that now?
That's true. Because, recently I have a lot of clients coming to my clinic, and they've been, experiencing different kind of bodily symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are kind of bizarre to them. It's not like what they experience normally, and it just came up, and it's just they felt like, oh, maybe I'm getting sick, or I need to go and see a doctor. And when they went to see a doctor and get blood tests and everything, and they couldn't find any problems with it, but they knew that there's something's going on in the body, so that actually brings them to my clinic. And so we work on those energies, and so a lot of those symptoms could be like feeling the energy stuck, or even though it manifests outwardly as stuck energy in your life. You might be stuck in your relationship, stuck in your finance, or different aspects in the life, and also bodily symptoms like aches, joint pains, or some one of my clients actually couldn't become my friends now, and she actually couldn't walk.
Okay.
All of a sudden, like she's healthy.
Okay.
And so she went to see a doctor, for instance, in that case, and couldn't helped her, and just gave her the walking sticks.
Right.
To deal with, and then she wanted, because she's also more inclined to the spiritual side of things, so she's trying to look at what's going on, and I told her, like, this is an Ascension symptoms. And ascension symptoms can manifest in different ways, like dizziness. Some people experiencing a loss of balance and vertigo, and some of them have headaches that's become really quite intense. And then they have vivid dreams, and also ear ringings symptoms, and sleep pattern changes, and changes in eating pattern, all sorts.
Yes.
And so these are part of what I would call them ascension symptoms.
Okay. So it's really interesting because earlier I was talking about, I said on the air, you are coming to talk to us on the radio today. I couldn't remember what it was about because we talked, but now for the life of me, I couldn't remember what it was. But I don't know why. Then I talked about ascension symptoms, and I still didn't click that you and I were talking about that. And I said a few things about ascension symptoms. And you were saying to me earlier that it's one of the
memory lapses.
Memory lapses is about ascension symptoms,
yes,
right?
I got it too, personally. So, yes.
So I've got to say this, and I didn't want to bring this into the mix, but I will say it because what's popped into my head is, some people they've had their shot,
yes,
right, and they're experiencing things like suddenly waking up one day and not being able to walk. And this is what I meant earlier when I said sometimes the things we're experiencing are so close to sicknesses that you don't know which one is which, right? And so I know that some people, after having had the jab or whatever, the shot, they've had some symptoms, and so it's kind of a confusion, like a mixed bag, right? Because
yes,
is it coming from that shot? Is it coming from Ascension? Is it coming because it's natural? Somebody said to me last week, oh, they had a flu this time. They did not have the virus, but they had a flu, and the flu was so intense, and they've never been sick like that before. They thought they were going to die, and it's like, okay, I don't know what that means, but okay, so people are giving reasons for why a flu can be so bad at this point. It's problem. And then someone said to me, for 2 years, we haven't had the flu. Do you believe that for 2 years we haven't had the flu in New Zealand?
No, really? Okay.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, me
How
too.
could the flu not have gone away? Have gone away just because we had a pandemic? Does that make sense?
Because the focus is on become shifted
That's
to
right.
that.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to digress, but this just when you said that, I just thought, because I thought, oh, because I mean, having a really bad flu could be this ascension symptom.
Yes, it could be. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very common actually.
Yeah. So, Carol, this is the why of it. You told us the why, because people are experiencing this. So how do we maintain, so what is high vibration? Because, I mean, we're talking about, okay, how to maintain high vibration or be in a high vibrational space. So what is high vibration? Because, there's that scale or something, right? Where you've got the lower vibration and the higher vibration. But now I know something of it. I don't know everything of it. Our audience may not know. So can you explain that?
Sure. Yeah, you mentioned about the scale. It's actually being developed or created by Dr. David Hawkins, and he's a really experienced psychiatrist, and he worked on the area of consciousness, and he's been devoted most of his lifetime in this field. So he's really experienced, and he come out with a map of consciousness scale. And so that consciousness scale gave a number, for example, from 100 from 0 to 1,000. And then each number actually corresponds to a different state of emotional mental vibration, because he realized that everything is energy, everything is actually has a frequency signature to it.
Right.
And so the mental side of it, like how we measure brain waves, and emotional, we have the heart electromagnetic waves. So all of these are vibrations. It's like the waves in particles that we could actually measure. And so he came up with this chart, and he realized that, human emotions or human has a vibrational state. A book can have a vibrational state. Music that created in an album can have, a vibrational state, because it's all coming out from a frequency of how that particular creation created from,
Right.
what sort of vibration it's from.
Yeah.
So to make it simple, it's like the state of love, a state of fear. So vibrationally wise, if you say a low vibration, it will be from this fear.
Yes.
So because fear in a very low vibration, and then in love, you have a very high vibration. So that sometimes it corresponds with the energy centers within our body, which we call energy centers, which we call chakras. So these are really kind of a very fundamental understanding or foundation to vibrational medicine or frequency or understanding energies. Yeah, so if you vibrate at a higher vibration, that means you are at a state of a strong aura. So
Right,
when your
yes.
aura is strong, you are less susceptible for lower interferences from viruses, from any other, negative energies around
right.
you.
Yeah.
Because just very simply put, like, for instance, if you are in a good mood, if your partner of your child did something, maybe, they drop a dozen of eggs that you just brought, and you just brought them, and then it could create a big reaction.
Yes.
And you might get really angry with the child and start yelling at the child, or you might be yelling at your partner, whatever, but so when you are in a good mood, you'll be like, that's all right, okay, we just need to clean up the mess.
Yes.
And let's just get some more eggs. And so that's it. I mean,
Yes.
but if you are not in a good mood, when your vibration is actually low, then you started to make a chain reaction. So when you started to yell at your child or your partner, then they got affected, and then they lashes out or they start hammering other things.
Yes.
So it becomes like a chain event.
Yeah.
And the vibration actually spread in that way. But normal people don't actually usually be aware of this, but it's really interesting. It's more and more people become more aware of, who they surround themselves with and the environment they are in. So this is really interesting as well.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And often when you are operating from a high vibrational space, you tend to attract people in the same way too, right? That are
Yeah.
also on the same wavelength. That's what I like. I like. That's why I like being in that high vibrational space. And I think the more you become high vibrational, or you practice to be in that space, you actually end up doing it without even thinking about it. The more you become aware when you're not in that space.
That's right.
And
yes.
I think that's an important thing, right?
That is the key.
Yeah.
Actually, for your own transformation, you wanted to become a better version of yourself,
Yes.
or you want to create a better version of life.
Yeah.
This is a time where a lot of people start waking up, like we said, it's an awakening that's happening, and it happens in waves because one action leads to another chain reactions, and which is a beautiful way. So it's up to us whether we want to create from that high vibrational space, or you want to create from a low vibrational space. And I'm sure that a lot of us are really tired of the negativity and the dramas that's happening in our lives. So it's time actually we take our power back and to tend to our mental and emotional frequency or state.
Yes.
So that's why more people now drawn to doing more stuff that makes them happy. For example, doing exercise.
Yes.
It's not only improving the mental emotional state, but of course the physical body as well. And then there are a lot of people joining yoga, meditation. It's all about going inward and tuning your vibration.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to a music break, because I think we're moving on to the how of this from what you're saying. And I'd like us to have a song play there, and then when we come back, we'll talk about, well, how do we do that? How do we stay in this high vibrational state? I'm just looking for a song that let's do The Satellite of Love by Lou Reed. It's an old song, but I'm thinking it might be 70s or well, I don't know, 60s, but let's go for it. Or maybe I've got it completely wrong. Satellite of Love. All right, here we go. All right, if you've just joined us, we are doing the Friday Fry Up. And today we're speaking with Carol Bird. The very special, amazing, lovely Carol Bird is in the studio with me. And the honor of having Carol in the studio. And you know what? If you meet Carol, you'll know what I mean when I say I have the honor of being with Carol. Yeah? Her energy is
mine.
Carol's energy is amazing, and I love that energy. All right. So what are we talking about today? We are talking about how to maintain a high vibration in the current climate, right? And what we were talking about before you went away, we went to music, was we spoke of Ascension symptoms, and then we were going on to the how of how you manage. You explained what a high vibration is. You explained where the concept comes from, and then of course we were going to talk about the how of maintaining a high vibration. And I'll give it over to you. The how, because you started telling us about yoga. And so let's go from there.
Right. Excellent. So, if we go back a little bit about the Ascension symptoms, so just bearing in mind that what you are experiencing could be the Ascension symptoms. So that's the first step of awareness that, actually save you from being under stress or freak out, so just knowing that it actually works with how the planetary vibrations that's actually changing on Earth right now. And so we as, residents or citizens on Earth, our body actually tune to our Mother Earth's frequency. So when we are experiencing the Ascension symptoms from there, we learn to become relaxed about what's going through, and accept this is part of the process that springs up for our highest good. So no matter what it is, not something that is really, really bad. So just stop yourself from freaking out, and be just tune in, go back to a calm state. Then you will be more able to manage the whole thing and have a clear head of what you're supposed to do. But the main thing is to able to take care of the bodily needs is the first thing. So if you feel like you need to really go to see a doctor to do the checkups and everything, fine. Just you can still go to that path. But after, if you find out there's nothing wrong with it and you can't do much about it, then rest assured that it is part of the Ascension symptoms. And also there are so many different ways about how to maintain a high vibration. But the easy or simple few things that I could just quickly tell you now is to first take care of your body. Maintain a relaxed state, and just calm yourself down. Be in the surrender mode, like just let it go. Like if you feel the intensiveness of some of the symptoms, you just try your best to use actually, I would say, natural medicine. To assist. So there are so many natural medicine out there, like homeopathy, naturopathy, Ayurveda medicine, and flowers, essences, and all that, and essential oil, for instance. And you can do therapy like massage therapy, or different kind of therapies that you feel drawn to, which is holistic.
Yes.
That is important because you wanted to bring your body in a high vibration. It needs to go on a natural way.
Yes, true. Yeah.
And then give yourself a lot of time of rest and sleep, because some of us might get extreme fatigue as Ascension symptoms. And you felt like, I've been sleeping and sleeping and sleeping, and what's going on? You thought, that something is wrong. But no, it's actually Ascension symptoms. And because of that, you will have to accept and just let your body rest when it needs to.
Yeah.
And drink lots of water, and good quality water we're talking about, because tap water or normal water has a lot of toxic substances in it, heavy metals, chlorine, all of that is not really good for the body.
Yes.
And in maintaining a high vibration. And so it's recommended to use spring water or mineral waters, or if you have colloidal minerals, or some kind of minerals that
colloidal silver.
Yeah. But it's colloidal minerals.
Yes.
That has like maybe more than 20, 30, 72 different kinds of minerals in those drops.
Right.
And you just need a few drops in that water will helps you to get the minerals that your cells and your bodies needs to get you through this transition period. And because you can also look for supplements, in that case, I will not go into that, because there's a lot of people like naturopath, or people that you can actually inquire to get the right supplement for yourself, and get plenty of sunlight. Actually, sunlight is really important to us at this moment. So this not only gives you the vitamin D that you need, but it's also help to lift your mood up. Remain in the mindfulness and stillness is another important point. So give some practice of doing yoga, doing some simple stretching, or if you can't do a yoga class, or really intense hatha yoga or iyengar yoga, they are more intense or advanced yoga. You can do some nice stretching, breathing exercise. Deep breathing really help to oxygenate the cells, and to bring the frequency in with the cosmic consciousness into your body and into your energy centers, such as the chakras. And so going back to a stillness state with meditation is really good. But if you think, oh no, I got monkey mind and I think too much, it's hard for me to stay still and do meditation, what can I do? I would suggest actually to play frequency music. So there are tons and tons of healing music, healing meditation with guided or without guided meditation. And you can just play that music in the background while you work, while you're relaxing, while you're reading a book, while you sleep. Because when you sleep, your brain is still working. And you can actually play those frequency music to bring you into a higher state of the brainwaves vibration, which is in the alpha, theta stage and beyond. So in that, it's really important also through that practice, you'll be able to calm your mind. And when you calm your mind, your body is calm, your emotion will be a lot calmer.
Yes, indeed. And this thing of going out into nature is a very good one too, right?
Yes, and it's free and it's available. Yes, definitely. Yes. In New Zealand, what's more than going to the nature? I mean, it is the gifts from the earth.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the mother of New Zealand.
Yeah, exactly. We have so much beauty around us. We don't have to go far to find it, right? And speaking of that, grounding is very important. Grounding oneself, like walking on the earth.
Yes, bare feet.
Bare feet. Go and tell us about it.
If you can't do bare feet, it's okay. You're still wearing your shoes, but being in the nature itself actually helps. Lots of trees, places, because trees hold the trees' electromagnetic field is big, and they maintain a scalar waves as well, and so it helps to balance your body energy field when you're going to somewhere which has a higher frequency. So that's why some people, when they are troubled, they go to church or they go to temples. Why? Because those energy in that space lift your vibration up. Yeah. But nature has the same. I mean, nature is amazing. So when you surround yourself, with nature, with animals, and these are the healing frequencies.
Absolutely. I heard a thing last week that says plants have a higher frequency than human beings.
Yeah.
So this this is probably what this is all about. Why we need to go out there, you know. And I mean, look, we cannot live without the plants and the trees on the planet, because you know we are interdependent, aren't we, with the plants, because of the oxygen, the oxygen that they give off and the carbon dioxide that we give off. We both need it. So I agree. Being in nature is very, very important at the moment for that high vibration. Very important for various things, just to be out there and experiencing it, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and deep breathing, and just take deep breaths while you're in nature as well, because it's like it's rejuvenate your cells, it's rejuvenate your mind, and so that's really a good tip.
Definitely good tip. So that is the other parts of what you can do to maintain your high vibration. So what else can you tell us, Carol? Because I feel like we haven't covered everything. I know
There
that.
are so many ways. Also, I can also name a few more
Yes,
if you
yeah,
like.
please do.
Yes, taking a bath, salt bath. So natural salt, like Himalayan salt or sea salt, it's really good for the body, because the salt that the cells needs can absorb, and our skin is the largest organ of absorption. And so when we dip ourselves in a bathtub, it's not only detoxifying your cells, but it's also getting the minerals from the salts that the cells need to detoxify and die off those, toxic cells or frequency energies in the body. So the bath, salt bath, is actually an ancient way since,
Yes.
long time ago, Egypt, or back in Atlantis, those kind of times when people understand a lot more with connection with vibration and energy. At that time they use this kind of ways, and so when you're in the bathtub, not only using that salt, you can also put crystal in it to amplify, because crystal actually holds frequency or energy better than normal rocks or stones.
Yes.
So crystal is special. That's why a lot of people actually drawn to crystals.
Yes.
But then learning how to program a crystals and use it, because the crystals just lying there from the shop, which you pick it up and buy it and bring it home, does not do its work. You do have to cleanse the crystal. I'm sure there's a lot of YouTube videos or internet information about how you actually cleanse and program the crystal. So I recommended you to look into that if you're drawn to crystals. And different crystals has different properties. But then when you go into the salt bath to detox, I also recommended you to bring your favorite crystals and put in the bathtub, and just put the intention to the crystal, saying, help me to detoxify, help to lift my energy, help me to revitalize my body and cells. And so and then enjoy that bath, and putting some of the essential oil that your favorite ones that makes you happy and feel soothing. Those are really, really, when you're happy and when you're soothed, you're in a high vibration.
Absolutely. You can work. It's a platform that you can work from, and everything that you think about and you do is just like so easy. It just feels like it's the energy from within that actually makes it all flow freely, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes, absolutely. And to maintain a high vibration needs a combination of body, mind, spirit, because we are, a being in composite of all these three elements. So if one went out of alignment or out of whack, then the other will fall apart.
Yeah.
They will try to hold up. The body is really intelligent because it heals itself. The body has its intelligence to try to maintain homeostasis the best it can for you. But then it only goes to a certain point, and that's when the illness get worse, or when people get cancer, this is when the body is telling you, we are in low vibration. That something needs to be changed.
Yes.
And it has to be from the body, mind, spirit way, that in combination of those, you'll be able to bring back the body into perfect alignment.
Yeah. And I think also, it's easy to be in a... It's gone out of my head. I've been doing that a lot today. Staying in the high vibrational space, there's a lot more. You just get a lot more out of it when you do this, and there's a lot of progressiveness in it. And again, I'm just saying that because I'm killing time, because I forgot what I was going to ask. It was there and it was gone. So what we'll do is let's go to music, and then we can come back and you can tell us, and maybe by that time I will have remembered. Oh, look, I just want to remind you again that Carol is an alternative healer. And if you want to know where to contact her, should you think you might want some energy healing, the website is energy-medicine.co.nz or energy-medicine.co.nz. And all the information is there. There are testimonials on the website. And it's energy medicine, really. That's what it's called, energy medicine, but the address is energy-medicine.co.nz, and you'll find Carol there. There's information about Carol. There's also information about what she offers, and where you can contact her, all of that. I recommend it because I do believe that whilst we do need all of our Western medicine, all of our clinical stuff, that in times of Atlantis and Lemuria, I am sure that everything was relative. Alternative was relative, so was clinical, so was science, so was medicine, so was, what was the other thing? Yeah, just all mainstream Western medicine. I don't think we even had this thing called Western and Eastern medicine. It was probably all combined because everything was relative and relevant. Yeah, so I speak of it freely because I think this is real.
Yes, I agree.
It's real, and more it's coming up.
Yes.
You've got people who are doing that. You've got doctors who are actually saying, well, yeah, we got the science, but we also need the alternative.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now there's a lot of information that comes up with that, and mainstream doctors acknowledging acupuncture, for example, in Chinese medicine. Acupuncture, Chinese medicine, they are energy medicine.
Yes.
And it talks about, body's energetic electric field and electric circuits that's going inside the body. So yes, it's coming more and more into the surface now.
Yeah, it also brings us, we're not digressing too much from the topic, but it also brings us into the awareness of how you can heal yourself.
Yes.
You can heal yourself. You can heal yourself. There are people that are talking about how they heal themselves.
Yes.
With, having had cancer, being diagnosed with cancer, and how they heal themselves, and how they, like Joe Dispenza, we talked about Joe Dispenza. Joe Dispenza actually teaches you how to do it, but he did it himself first. He healed himself, right?
Yes.
It's always about the mind. And all of these things are connected. But speaking of healing and alternative healing, Carol's healing is also for children, for animals. And, she helps you discover your innate gifts, because we do have them. The soul is an amazing thing. As we always, those of you that are into soul will know this. You'll feel that, you'll think that. But I think in giving the soul that much, we seem to, I know for me, my growing up, my teachings, all the things that I know, always saw it as separate from the body. But interestingly enough, the body is so important because it holds a lot of memories of past lives, for example. And without that, then there's also that aspect, And so very important to learn that everything holistic helps.
Yes.
Right. So we're going to go to a song. This time Jethro Tull with Aqualung. Don't know what that means, but I'm thinking water and breathing. All right, because of aqua and lung. Water and air, maybe. Okay. And then we'll come back and we're still talking to Carol. And so we will give you the ends of the conversation, whatever's next to come. And then we'll go to the top of the hour announcements. So this song is 6 minutes long, I realize. And I don't know that I want a song for 6 minutes long. We're going to go to another song, Creedence Clearwater Revival with Looking Out My Back Door. Okay, there we go. We are doing the Friday Fry Up if you've just joined us. I do have to tell you that in case somebody suddenly comes into the room, listens to it and thinks, what's she talking about? Why didn't I get a reminder of who she is? Well, I'm Rose McNair, by the way, and in the studio today is Carol Bird, my guest, who is talking to us about, what are we talking about? We're talking about high vibration, ascension symptoms. We're talking about the effects on the body, the mind, the spirit. And Carol, so whilst we were having that music break, you were going to talk about the body and food again, weren't you? You were telling me.
Yes, that's right. Yes. Since we mentioned about the combination of body, mind, spirit, it's really important for us to become, able to manage what's going on, and as well as bringing our body back into balance. Firstly, the food is really important because food is the first, gateway or intake to come into our body. And so I highly recommended to check ingredients on food packaging and stuff, and to definitely eliminate packaging food, fast food, because those food contains high level of sugar, glucose, or fructose that's actually not good for our body and create the toxins in the body. And sometimes avoiding the wheat or gluten could be helpful for some people because those actually slow down the vibration, and sometimes people felt the stomach getting more heavier after eating those foods. So that's another thing. And so the main idea is to become more alkaline in your body. So what is that means? Because when the body is acidic, when we're eating a lot of food that are acidic in nature, there's also information that's on the website or internet now that you can Google acidic versus alkaline food, and you'll get a bunch of information of what food is actually alkaline, what food is actually acidic. So a lot of acidic foods contains like sugar, meat items, and chocolate. Alkaline food is more on like vegetables and fruits in nature mostly, and so vegetarian or food of content of minerals diet, including some raw food like salads and stuff, are really helpful for the body because those are more high vibration food.
Yes.
So when you eat high vibration food, your body get assimilated more quickly. It doesn't have to wash out or flush toxin, because if you taking packaging food or fast food or food that has a lot of numbers in the package, then rest assured that your body will take extra time and work extra hard to actually eliminate those toxins. So this is the first thing to just become aware. It doesn't have, you don't have to be like, no, I suddenly just turn into, vegetarian or whatever. I got a lot of clients that ask me that question, like, well, should I really just turn into vegetarian now? And I would say no. Because you need to be sensible, practical. It is your own body, and your body, some people actually need meat. So everyone is different. So you have to be in tune with your body. And if you inclined to eat meat, I would suggest you choose to have white meat such as chicken or fish instead of red meat, beef or lamb, because they are more denser vibration. And also choose organic meat if you are able to afford it, because mainly organic meat or organic food has no chemicals, no pesticides, or does not have any hormone injected in it, because all of these are harmful substances for the body.
Yes, that's right. I've been talking about that the last few weeks, especially. We are now going to this point where you're finding that a lot of people are moving towards this organic food regime. Even if you are going to eat meat, eat organic meat rather than eating meat that isn't. It's about the responsibility. It's about the vibration of the animal. It's about was it confined or caged and then taken to be slaughtered to be be sold? Was the animal stressed before it actually became food for humans? So vibrationally we do tend to take on the stress of this animal when we eat it, and so that makes it we bring in other things into our body. We don't realize how vibration is such an important factor in our lives, in our living, in our bodies, in our minds, all those things, right? And so therefore eating organic food is highly recommended. Even if you have a garden, try to grow your own.
Yes, I have my own veggie garden as well. So, when it's actually quite easy. And now we are living in phenomenal age where technology and all this information is easily accessible, and people making a lot of amazing videos of how to grow organic food. Or even it doesn't. It's not that hard. Even you can have a small garden or a small what do you call it?
A veggie box.
Yeah, veggie box.
Yeah, you can have it on the patio and you can grow out. I have one of those and you can grow out of that.
Yes.
So you don't need a lot of space, but you can, if you don't have a lot of space and you have space enough to fill a veggie box, you can have one of those and you can get the best vegetables you can out of that.
Yeah, or herbs, like a herbs box. Yeah. And
also remember, you can exchange this with people. Stuff like if somebody's growing organic vegetables and you can grow herbs, you can exchange that with that person.
That's right.
You don't have to. It doesn't have to. And right now, even I get that organic can be quite expensive.
Yes.
But it's going to get better, I believe, because it's going to become more and more a thing now that people are starting to recognize, in order for me to be healthy, to stay in my high vibrational space or whatever, I need to be eating better.
Yes.
I need to be eating better quality food that is good for my body.
Yes.
And, I've been getting food from the Clevedon Herbs and Fresh Produce. They have a stall here at the market, but I've been ordering mine online and they deliver it to me at home. And the organic food just tastes better. You feel the different effect, and the vegetables and you just feel it affecting your body differently.
Yes.
Even if you think about how it goes through your body and then the whole process of digestion, you feel different with that food, eating that food and the digestion process. So
yes, they are easily assimilated. And think about the kids. They have sensitive body and their body is still developing. So if you give them good quality organic food, it's actually really going to help them grow better and have less problem. In their bodily level and also different levels. Because food affects us.
Definitely, food affects us, and it affects the mind. It affects the body, of course, but it affects the mind. The moods as well, right?
Yes.
And also, if you're thinking, look, how do I know that I should give up wheat? Think about when you eat bread. How do you feel afterwards? Because I think your body talks. It will tell you, if you feel bloated, if you feel, heavy, all of that, and you're thinking, oh gosh, it just feels
dull.
Constipated, all of that stuff there. That is telling you, the body is saying, I don't like this thing. It's not so great for me.
Exactly.
So, and explore that. I always encourage people, just if you're thinking something's bothering you in your gut, just stop eating it.
Yeah, experiment.
Stop eating it for a short period of time. Give yourself 7 days even.
Yes.
And you will notice the difference if that is the case. So there you go.
Yeah, the body responds really quickly.
Yeah.
So just try it. And also another items in the pantry is the sugar. So the refined white sugar is not good for your body. Yeah, and it also causes cancer. So use natural sugar like honey molasses, or natural sugar from fruits, dates. So there are a lot of different kinds of replacement that you could find now in the market.
Sorry about the noise, guys. I'm trying to get the light out of Carol's eyes because sunlight is right on her eyes, and whilst it's good for us, I don't want it to make her uncomfortable while she's speaking. I want to say this about sugar. I agree with you, Carol, about sugar. The other sugars you can get is, I use xylitol. I don't eat. I don't have raw sugar, white refined sugar, not raw sugar, white refined sugar in my tea or coffee. And I use xylitol, and you can cook with xylitol. You can bake with it as well. It'll taste the same, but it is sugar from the bark of the birch tree, right? And the one I use is
interesting.
Yeah, and you know, it's like I don't know what stevia and erythritol come from, but xylitol looks like sugar. It's great for your teeth as well. And it's expensive, I've got to tell you. So, you know, I only have it in my tea or coffee. I have baked with it now and then. But I've noticed that since I've started drinking xylitol, I don't, when I've got sugar in my tea, like if I'm somewhere and somebody's put sugar in my tea, you know, out of a meeting or whatever, I can't taste the sugar anymore. Or if something is too sweet, I can pick up from that it's too sweet. And it's like, okay, so my body is saying something to me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, apart from, you know, looking after ourselves with this, sometimes people do fasting every now and then, because fasting gives your body a break in digestion, and it actually cleans your body by having fruit juice for a couple of days instead of, you know, solid food. So that's also something that you can look into as a detox mechanism, because the body needs to be detoxed every now and then in order to maintain that balance. So this is also one of the, you know, good tip.
Yes, detoxing, fasting for a few hours, or a process. If you can't fast a whole, like if you can't do this process of abstaining from solid food for say 24 hours, then find another way, because you can have a liquid diet up until a certain time in the day, and then from then, you know, like for example, you can have a liquid diet all the way up to lunchtime, you know, fast until lunchtime, or have nothing until lunchtime but water, and then from lunchtime have your lunch, but then go in light, have a light meal, you know.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, you can go with that as well to start with.
Yeah.
So,
and then eventually you find that, I found that when I was doing fasting like that, I could sorry, Carol, I could fast. Initially, I could fast without any food, and then when I gave it up for a while, then I had to break myself back into it. And then I did this thing where, okay, I did it for a short period of time, maybe with just liquid, and then then I started back into going to having complete fasting for, I don't know, 24 hours, and only drinking juice or whatever.
Yeah, or honey water, because raw honey contains really high vibration and good energy.
Oh, okay.
And so raw honey with water, warm water, could be a really good intake as well.
Okay.
During that time.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good advice. So, Carol, you're telling us about the food. You're telling about the drink.
Yes.
Anything else?
Yeah, one last thing. It's devices. Okay. So it would be really good to put the devices or your gadgets away from your bed when you sleep. I know it's hard for a lot of people, but believe me, it makes a big difference. There are people who are really sensitive to the electromagnetic frequencies that generated from electronic devices. And they are real, because we know that Wi-Fi is real, even though we can't see it. It's invisible, but it's in the air, and we can use our smartphone, we can use internet, so it's there in the air. The inference of those electromagnetic frequency are there, and and on top of that, we have, other frequency like 5Gs or, microwaves, radiation, so on and so forth. So during our sleep time, because sleep is the time when the body actually regenerate, revitalize. So that's the time when it would be best if you can keep your body away from those waves. So turn off, maybe if you can't turn off your phone, just keep it away from the bed or another room outside, and then change your alarm, your clock from the phone to a real alarm clock, for example.
Yeah.
And then, and just keep as less electronics inside a bedroom as much as possible. So that will help as well. And I know that has a tremendous effect on children. So for those who have children, rest assured that if you keep the devices away from them during the sleep time, it's gonna really help them mentally.
That's really good to know. That's really good to know. I used to have such arguments with my teenager to make sure that her mobile phone is away from the bed, and in fact completely out of the bedroom.
Yes.
And it's taken a long time. She knows it now.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it is right to have very little technology around, in fact no technology around you when you're sleeping.
Yes.
Leave it in the other room.
Yeah, that's right. And I have a teenage daughter as well, so I totally understand what you're talking about. But I felt that as a parent, just because we have to keep the healthy boundary for them, they still need to be disciplined in some way. We gave them the freedom according to their age, but in terms of cell phone, using iPads and all that at night, it needs to be up to a specific time, and that's it. And there needs to be a limited time on a daily basis. The younger the kids are, the less you wanted to give them the devices, because their brain is still developing, the bodily developing. They actually need to be active and doing stuff. So you need to help them to get back into a healthy body cycle. And so it's not really triggering too much of the mental level when they are in a young age, because they are not ready for that. Different ages have different developmental stages for the brain and the emotion, and that you can also look into it from Rudolf Steiner's work, because his work is phenomenal on the children. So it talks about that aspect. So in that case, I would definitely recommend that you keep the boundary strong and firm, but in a loving way. It's for the good of them. It's not like we're trying to make a war between parents and child. It's more of explaining to them why, and still give them the freedom of using that in acceptable, reasonable manner and content. So these are like kind of important for the kids.
Yeah, and especially you want with the high vibration, yes, and especially now that we're going through ascension symptoms and things like that. I mean, look, if you're not doing this now, don't feel bad, is what I want to say, because this is why we're talking about stuff like this, so that some people don't know that they should do this, and so we're saying, hey, this is an advisable way to do it. And from like what you're saying is, it's about development, brain development. It's about that. It's not about being a cruel parent or like taking away the fun. The kids think you're taking away their fun, but you know that you have a greater reason for it, a reason that's more beneficial than they could. It's not about fun. It's about saying, I want you to be able to develop your brain with just it having to think for itself rather than being influenced by everything else it's watching and thinking there. And I don't mean it in any weird political or whatever sense. I mean it as in, like, children watching TV a lot, for example. They're influenced by what they're watching, all those children's programs.
That's right.
Do they have an opportunity to think, to go outside, to go outside and look at the tree and say, oh, maybe I could draw that tree, or I could
climb a tree.
Or I could
do stuff.
That's
with
right. Yeah.
the
or,
branches
yeah.
or whatever.
I smell that
something.
tree. What does it smell? Why does that tree smell like that? Why does the bark feel like that? You know, that's great development for the brain. Yeah, not where it's already handed out, where the brain is already at that young stage thinking for itself. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And I know we're not talking about parenting at the moment in our topic, but yes, for the children, it's really important that, in replacement of the taking away of the gadget, offering time to talk, reading stories, interaction, human interaction, it's more important for the triggering the brain development of the kids than being a passive mode in watching something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in that aspect, I will feel singing songs, doing a lot of creative stuff. It's what the kids need. The kids are already in high vibration, guys. It's the adults who are sort of mucking up a bit. So for the kids, it would be really easy for them to balance the body if they just need some help to create the right environment, atmosphere, and the initiation to keep them in that high vibration state.
Yeah. And I think as a parent, you can find things that you can do together, and then both of you get both the children
a lot
and
of
parents
fun
get
out of it.
A lot of fun out of it, and get into the high vibrational space together. So there you go. If you were thinking, how will I get my high vibes going? We'll do it together with the children.
Yeah, get off the gadget.
Exactly. Right. Wow. That's very good advice, and especially now for this time and space. And it's not telling you how to parent. It's just saying there's good reasons now where you can to justify why you say we need to put the iPad away.
Yeah, why are my kids getting angry all the time, or cranky, or impolite, yelling at parents? All this behavior. Actually, there are some reasons behind it, and part of those reasons could be due to the long time on the gadgets or watching TV.
Yeah.
It's being done by researchers, so there's a lot of stuff, information if you wanted to look into that.
Great. I like that the kids aspect is a very important one for high vibration. I think knowing how to work with the kids on that to create that space with children, and especially in this time that we live in, that it's so busy. Parents have got a lot to think about.
Yes, and stress.
Yes.
So that's why for the kids, it's more important that the parents would be able to understand, become aware of this first, and then you'll be able to help the kids. Instead of, creating a battle between, the parents and a kid, and also creating more stress in managing the kids in that environment, it's actually you are one together as a family.
Exactly.
The kids always love the parents, and they're very forgiving, and it's up to the parents whether they wanted to open the heart, open the mind to some out of the box thinking of ways of doing things that actually make the whole home atmosphere light up.
Yeah, light up, full of light atmosphere and full of beautiful energy.
Yes.
Indeed. So, Carol, anything else you want to tell us?
That would be more on the, there are more information I could share with you guys later on the website. I got a document, actually have more tips on it.
Yes.
So we basically cover most of the items regarding the body side.
Right.
So we can actually go into the mind. How do we look after our mind, for instance?
Okay. So when we come back, you'll tell us how to access that?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll play a song. I was just saying to Carol, oh, what a beautiful song. I love the song. Can you tell I'm still into the 80s? Yeah, it's a nice song, right? Yeah, and you were saying your daughter's into it as well, into old music.
She's into old music.
Yeah.
She said old music is much better for some reason. It makes her feel good.
Yeah, and I think that the music of yesteryear, I'll call it yesteryear, has lasted and it stood the test of time.
Yes, the frequency.
That's right. And I don't know I'm not saying all of the modern music won't, because a lot of the modern music is great because it speaks of the modern times, the current time, the flavors of that. But I don't know that you're going to get many artists that are going to be. I mean, where will we be in 20 years? We will have forgotten all about this.
Yes, thinking about how we still, from floppy disk to CDs,
Yes.
and now CDs almost, the black disc, vinyl.
The vinyl.
The vinyl. Yes, the vinyl. And then it's now almost online, everything.
Yes, that's true.
Spotify.
Yeah. But actually saying that too, vinyl is coming back. It's making a comeback in some ways. There's a lot of people we know in our circles, because it's radio. Even the radio station has a vinyl sale. Once, like they had one in October.
Oh, wow.
A vinyl sale, and there were lots of people there. But the vinyl sale, it's about CDs, it's about cassettes, it's about what you can get. So it's interesting, right? But I mean, everything, you're right, everything is online, everything is on Spotify. So in 20 years time, gosh, we're going to be in a very different world in
Even
20 years time.
5 years time.
Yes, actually probably even 2 years time.
Wow.
Feeling the energies at the moment, right?
Yeah, moving quick.
We are moving quick. We're moving quick. That's why our ascension symptoms are so strong.
Yes, and dramatic for some.
That's right. Dramatic for some, quite dramatic for some. So you're going to conclude for us, Carol?
Yeah. So, like I said, you need the combination of the mind, body, spirit in alignment. So, in terms of looking after the body, we have covered a lot of, those practical points, because the body is the first gateway. Like we said, it's the most easily looking after, or what you can do most easily. And the second one is the mind, is to be aware of, what you think. Am I thinking a lot of thoughts that are negative, or am I thinking thoughts that are actually positive? So become aware of that, because when you have that thought, it creates a frequency in your brain waves, and then it's actually affects your emotion. And so that both are connected, the mind, the mental, and the emotion. And so when you feel negative, and then you will be actually pulled down into a lower vibration. And when you feel more happier, more calm and soothing and excitement, or all that are higher vibration. So become first aware of, what you think, and then how you feel, and then become more aware of aligning both. So you wanted to have what you think and how you feel to be the same. The problem with us getting mental, problems or psychological problem is misalignment of the mind and the emotion on some level. So when we think about something, we wanted to make our emotion to be in line with that, so it becomes coherence in the energy field. For more information of that, I recommended going to Heart Math Institute. And what you mentioned, Rose, before about Dr. Joe Dispenza,
yes,
he taught about the mind and heart coherence
That's
method.
right, he did.
Yeah, a
And he does,
meditation.
yeah.
And very simple. Anyone can do it, and the kids can do it too. You can teach them in like younger age. They have the website where they have the kids one and also an adult one.
Yes.
So go to try it and see, experiment.
Yeah. And enjoy this time with your children. I just feel it's necessary to say that. Really enjoy this time with your children. You had them, and that means you wanted them. And even if they were unplanned, they're there now, and you have an emotion about them. Make it the best life.
Yes.
Make it the best life, because it can be so fun. Children are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing how one person can influence so many people. So the question is whether you want to affect or influence positively or negatively. You can actually change people's lives. So the most closest people will be your family. Yeah, and definitely children, because they are always open. Their energy field is open.
Yeah. And think about it. They came here. They were given to you. I always think of this. I was given this child, and she came with also, what was I going to do with her? What influence was I going to impact, put into that?
Yeah.
And I won't say that I will say this. I'll be the first to say I've made mistakes. as
Yeah,
we do.
we all do.
We all do, because we're all on the awakening journey, right?
Yes.
And we're all on the awakening journey is to growing up and to being better and all of that. And from, in my case, I have the one child. Your case, the one child.
Yes.
So we didn't get a chance to have another one to sort of do it differently.
Yes.
Or experience another kind of way or another way to be a parent. But you see, this is the thing. They've been given to us because, well, you know, they've come there whether we wanted them or not. They're there. And if they had there, that means, okay, so here you've got this platform that you can operate from. And if you can see each of your child like that, or there's another one being given to me, what will I do with this one? It will be different from the other one. The child's going to be different from the other one. But how will I respond? Will I use the same program I used with the previous one? Because you don't want to be programmed with your children. They're individuals.
Yes, they are so different. And
Yeah.
a lot of times of friends and families I have, like, you got two children in a family, but both of them are the opposite.
Yeah.
Totally different personality
Yeah.
and character. So you do have to look at them individually and tailor, what is needed
Yes.
and what helps them.
Yeah.
So one box cannot fit
No.
all.
No,
Yeah,
indeed, no.
because the universe created us uniquely, and everyone has a different frequency.
That's right. And that's what makes it all fun. That's what it's all about. Fun, fun, fun.
Diversity.
Absolutely. Yeah, how boring if it would be that we were all the same. Oh my goodness. So Carol, was there anything more you wanted to tell us about that before we talk about the website and what you have available for our listeners?
Sure. The last thing is the spirit side. So spirit side is how do we connect with spirit, or how do we even connect with our inner self first? So this is the spiritual level, and anything that exists in this world actually is from the spiritual level manifested first. So it's like it is a light form, but in a denser sense, and it's just descending into a denser state. So we now have a solid things that you can hold and feel and taste, but they are all coming from the spirit sense, from the light. For example, like when you wanted to create a project, you first come up with it in the mind, and then it's invisible. How do you know? But everything that we created in this world, it's coming from the mind first.
Absolutely.
And how do you get that inspiration? It's actually that inspiration or that motivation or that energy that comes through to you to create is the spirit.
Yes.
And so this is to connect yourself with that. So through the spirit side, you can do things that actually makes you connect with your inner self more. So it could be meditation, it could be writing journals, it could be becoming gratitude to anything that coming across to your life, because gratitude holds the highest vibration.
Yes.
And when you become, grateful for the things in life, you started to train your mind from looking at things the negative or the worst possible way, and looking at people the negative of the worst possible way, and being critical, and change the direction into the positive way. And then people will start to change. Because why? Because we're all energetically connected. And when you see them from the eyes of the divine, from the eyes of beauty, from the eyes of perfection, of the best in them, you see the best in them. So when you do that, the other person cannot help but lift up to your expectation. So this is how you change dynamics as well. So we're not going into that too much, but on the spiritual side, it's to getting in tune, because when you're doing that, you actually feel good.
Yeah.
Within your heart, and you feel, that feeling is actually bringing you in tune with your true self inside. So this is part of how we try to tune ourselves. And other thing is every day trying to create, some sort of meaningful service to others, like help someone who's less fortunate, or help someone who actually needs help that you can offer. Because when you are doing that, you're coming out from a depressed state, or if you're feeling, sad, or or when you are in a difficult time, just make yourself, doing something that is meaningful to create the meaning back into the life.
Yeah. Especially when you're in that state and then somebody needs something and you reach out. It does give you meaning, right? It does make you feel like, okay,
yes,
I've done something worthwhile.
That's right.
Yeah. Right. So you told us all you want to tell us?
Yeah, and a lot of other information. I have so many other tips. So do check out the documents that is on my website under Ascension Support, and
Right,
that's
so-
a document freely that you can download called How to Maintain High Vibration. So in that document, I share my personal opinion and experience of how to do it. So please feel free to check that out.
Great. Absolutely wonderful. And Carol, you tell us the website again, please. You give us the web address this time.
Oh, sure. It's www.energy-medicine.co.nz.
Yes. Okay.
Or if you Google Carol Bird Healing, you will be able to find me.
Yeah, so that's how I found you. I put in there Carol Bird and it brought up the websites and anything to do with Carol. And you say there's that free download of that document under Ascension
Support.
Support. I can see it there. Yes. So go on and get that. I think if it's good to read about it. We talk about it, and sometimes reading about it gives us more. It gives the memory impact, as in you will remember.
Yeah, there are so many more tips in there too.
Yeah. So we're really working towards living a clean life at the moment, right?
Yes.
Not that we lived a dirty life, for want of a better word, but we're cleaning out the things that are lowering the frequencies.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of move towards that. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And also letting go of what actually does not work. A lot of people get being stuck in this stage of life, actually questioning themselves.
Yes.
So that's what we call they're going through the ascension crisis.
Okay, thank you. That answers a few questions for me.
But this is not a bad thing. It is an opportunity. Remember how we talk about not looking things negatively and actually looking at things positively. So what is this actually helping me? Why is my soul decided to have this lesson or have this incident coming into my life? What do I need to change, learn, or step out of that box in order to find something which actually serve my higher good?
Yes.
To lead me into the life that I truly deserve and want.
Yes. So there's a lot of us out there like that, questioning it and all of that. And I think this is it. It's good to know that it's part of Ascension symptoms.
Yes.
Because, I had my meltdown this week questioning stuff and saying, whatever. And I'm just going to go back to the old ways of doing things because I was getting a bit frustrated with stagnation in terms of work and stuff like that. And then I just kind of I'm just glad I had my moment. And then I'll carry on because I need to carry on. There's no way I can't carry on. And I will find out whatever that means and what the answers are because it's all coming. But it just comes. It comes when not when you're forcing it. It comes when
you're ready.
Yeah.
And some of this, a lot of the things, it's, mentally blocked. So you have some beliefs systems or some kind of thinking pattern that actually make you stuck. It's not like the things that I want did not come, but there is some blockages that you need to release and clear. Sometimes it comes with the incident of stagnation in order to wake you up, like feel inside your heart, that I need to affirm that what I wanted, not what I don't want it. So instead of thinking, it's not going that way, it's not going to happen, maybe I'm not good enough, maybe, this kind of things, living a better life or doing things that I want and truly desire, will not happen. So this is a time where we become self-empowered to question. That's why question comes to make us choose again what we wanted for ourselves. It gives us a second chance.
It is. It's giving us a chance to create from the heart this time. Create from a place of empowerment.
Yes.
Self-empowerment, I would say, to say, this is how I want my life to be. I'm going to navigate it like this. These are the choices I'm going to make. And it's not going to be a choice that's boring for me, or I get to the end of a week and I'm like, oh gosh, I don't want to go back to do that next week. Yeah. We are creative beings. Yes. We have a lot of amazing qualities, and it's forcing us to think back, to go back and recreate. Yeah.
Yes, and when we are letting go of those ego thoughts or negative thoughts that's been blocking us, it's also emptying to give space to the new ideas, new creative, new emotion, new thought patterns to come through. Yeah. So this is part of the process. So congratulations if you are actually going through this.
Yes.
It's because this is your soul that's asking you to move to something better.
Awesome.
And it's pushing you so that, you can't actually go back where you used to, or what actually did not help or serve you before. Yeah. And the old patterns or the old relationship patterns or whatever, it's just moving you to a new direction. But in that case, you need to really follow in tune with your heart. And to be able to do that, you need that stillness and mindfulness, because the heart and the feeling and the spirituality comes from the still point. And if we are not quieting our mind, we won't be able to access that. But if you follow some of the suggestions that we just talked about, you will be able to feel things change in you. Firstly, the body. Then you talk about, actually pay attention to your thoughts and stuff, and you started doing affirmations, for example, in the morning when you get up, before you go sleep. Do some affirmation, listen to affirmations, podcast or something, to rewire and reprogram your mind. And once that takes some practice, of course, but once you get into this mode, you will start see the changes and shifts.
Yeah. And I think when you start to feel calm in a day, that no matter what's happening around you, you're still in a good space. Then you know you're on your way. You've made the change and you're on your way. And it's small things. It's like getting up in the morning, praying to the sun, for example, standing in front of the rising sun and doing some yoga poses, if that's what if that's what works for you. Doing a 10-minute silent meditation, put the timer on, do your breathing. It's stuff like that if you do it, try it. I know sometimes people say meditation doesn't work for me, but do something that puts you in a mindful state, puts you in a meditative state. Even if it's 5 minutes of silence, just breathing with the timer on and then it goes off. I can assure you, you do that for 1 week, 5 minutes for 1 week, every day once. There will be a definite change in your life.
Yeah. And you will start to be able to do it longer, because it's just like any other sports or any other, skill.
Yeah.
This is part of a skill, a tool that helps us. If some people like dancing, singing, you can also do that as a meditation.
Yeah.
But ideally, a quietness will be able to help with bringing you to connection more.
Yeah. If you like dancing and singing, you can do it after you've done your quietness.
Yeah, that's also good suggestion.
Carol, thank you so much for coming to talk to us on the radio. It's always so good. I'm sitting and listening to you and I'm thinking this recording has got to go to quite a few people around the world, actually. I'm going to, with your permission, I'd love to share it with a few people overseas that I think will make a huge difference too. Yeah.
Wow, thank you. This is my honor.
Thank you so much. It's our honor to have you. And you know what? The planet is a better place for people who have your heart and who know what they've come here to do and are fulfilling the purpose. You're one of the people in my world, one of the very few people in my world that I know is fulfilling their purpose or living the purpose to life that they came to do here on this planet. And long may it, I know it will continue, because it's like that you were saying, once you've taken the move, once you've gone that way, you can't go back. No. It's like the Italians say, attraversiamo, come to the other side. So once you've come to the other side, You cannot go back. There is no going back after you recreate the new life and the new way.
Yeah, because you become more happier, you're more
That's right.
fulfilled. And
Yeah.
why do you want to go back to not happy and
Yeah, exactly.
not fulfilled?
Yeah. Why do you want to go back to saying, oh, I don't want to do that stuff? No, because there is better on this side. I assure you there is. And you know the difference between, I started all of this in 2013 and I had my awakening not long after that summer solstice of the 21st of December 2012. And I had to do a lot of the work, to listen, to circumcise my heart, so to speak of, with the information to reprogram, because I was so programmed with the old. And so I've taken a long time. My journey has been from then. But I have to say that today people can short circuit it.
Yes.
That's the thing. You don't have to do all that I've done, by the way.
You don't need to take, it doesn't have to take 10 years,
No.
7 years now.
No. It's like there, in a flash.
If you're really willing and you go onto that path and started to do some of those, what we suggested, it's going to move really fast.
It's going to move really fast. And now is the time to do it, because we are going to move really fast. Have you noticed how the energies are at the moment on the planet?
Yeah, like the days are gone in
Exactly.
a blink of an eye.
That's right. In August, they seem to be delayed, and suddenly we got to October and it's flying through, right? Or just
Yes.
say the middle of September and it's flying through. And also, the times that we're living in, the vibrational of the vibration of the planet, because the vibration of the planet is the way it is, we have to go with Gaia. We have to go the way she's going, right? Or Mother Earth. Or
Yes.
whatever you want to call it, because we're doing that ascension into the higher vibrational earth, which is Terra, and so we have to go with it. So we are actually being pushed into it now.
Yes.
And so therefore things are going to happen quickly.
That's
So
right.
long may it continue in terms of the ascension process for as long as it's meant to take. But I have to tell you, I don't think the ascension process is going to take much longer. I think it's going to happen. Things are going to just go flash.
Yes.
Like that solar flash they're talking about.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yes.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you, Carol. So much love to you, and namaste to you.
Namaste, and so
Really.
much love for everyone that are here
Thank you.
listening to this clip.